I've worked for GSC Grays since 2020, but I did also do a year with the company previously during my placement year from Harper Adams. I then was lucky enough to be offered a job during my placement year, so came back as a graduate. I worked in the Valuations team for 2 years, and that provided a really good grounding, particularly in things such as inspection. They're definitely skills that I continue to use today, even though my role's quite different now. I now lead the energy team at GSC Grays, predominantly focused on landowner-based work, so acting for landowners in negotiations for energy developments, whether that's solar, wind, battery or other forms of technology. The company have really supported me in taking my professional qualifications. I was actively encouraged to sit my CAAV exams as well as my APC. The CAAV in particular, I think, has been brilliant in terms of building my confidence because of the breadth of areas that that examination covers. We're really lucky to have assessors at the company, so Fran Barragan and Lucinda Riddle particularly. They were great at reviewing my submission and also providing practical pointers on my case study prior to submission, and then actually doing some questioning when it was getting closer to that assessment date. I think when you initially think, oh, working in the energy sector, you'd think that that's quite restrictive, but I've been surprised at actually the breadth of work that it encompasses. So it isn't just kind of the conception of projects at the outset, negotiation of heads of terms and those commercials. There are a myriad of issues that come up along the way, whether it is compensation claims for crop loss or just generally trying to overcome practical matters that arise, whether that's access arrangements or negotiating with other landowners who are also involved in the scheme. A lot of my work is in the detail of the contracts and negotiation of those, but probably the bit I enjoy the most is actually being able to get out and see landowners when projects do come forward. Being able to see them being built out through that construction process is brilliant, and there are inevitably issues that come up that need to be overcome, and just working with all of the parties that are involved, the developer, the contractor and the landowner, to make things work in practice is an element I really enjoy. So because it is quite a specialist area of work, it has started with quite a small team, but now we do have a number of people up in Alnwick and over in the west completing this type of work, so we're well resourced, and given the government's targets for clean power, there's inevitably going to be a large amount of work in this area, and it's a growing sector. So if you are considering an opportunity working in the rural sector, I do think that chartered surveying is a great industry to get into. The breadth of work is huge, and as hopefully shown by my progression at GSC Grays particularly are a brilliant company to work for, very progressive opportunities for growth as the company expands. Aside from that, I genuinely enjoy working with all of my colleagues at GSC Grays. They're a great bunch, and I've made some real friends along the way.